Hello, beautiful people of the internet. Welcome back to another episode of Technically Adulthood with Jewell Simone. That's me, your host. I'm very excited that you have taken the time to join me today. I'm really happy to see you. I always feel weird about saying I'm happy to see you or I'll see you next time because it's a podcast. I don't see you and you don't see me. And maybe that's for the best because most of the time I'm doing online things, when I was doing online classes and when I have online Zoom meetings, I'm not wearing pants most of the time, and I'm pretty sure you guys probably aren't wearing pants right now. I don't know, but neither of us really want to see that. If that's true for both of us that we're not wearing pants, I'm sure we don't want to see that from each other. No offense, and I'm sure you're a great person. Welcome back to Technically Adulthood. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Okay, so I am not a morning person at all. I'm just not. My mom, however, is a morning person on steroids. She wakes up sometimes at 3 o'clock in the morning and is ready to start her day. When we cross paths in the wee hours, it's always on opposite agendas. I'm okay, it's about 6 a.m. I should get ready to start going to bed and just winding down, and mom has been drafting emails and writing proposals and literally working for 2 hours. We are not on the same wavelength. And so she'll always try to come in my room and have a conversation with me, but I can't. Even if I'm talking to you, when I just wake up, I have no idea what you're saying or what we're talking about. I don't know if it's just me or if anyone else goes through this, but literally if you try to have a conversation with me while I'm just waking up, I will not remember it, or I will have very faint dream-like memory of it. So this morning, I could have sworn my mom was hitting me with a belt, literally hitting me in my sleep. I could have sworn she was doing that, but I was no, she would never. My mom would never ever do that to me. She's so loving and kind. I went downstairs and I asked, I was did you hit me this morning with a belt? And she was yeah, and I do it again. I'm sorry. So first of all, you guys, I was right about that whole Bad Girls Club thing. I literally am living in the Bad Girls Club and it's now come to physical blows. But she was literally hitting me because I hadn't cleaned my room and I said I was going to. I mean, granted, I have been saying I was going to clean my room for about 2 weeks, but it's called mental illness, love. Sometimes it just doesn't happen the way we need it to happen. Does that mean we resort to violence? I don't think so. And so I was threatening her and I was I'm not going to hit you back. I'm going to hit you where it hurts. I'm going to call Child Protective Services and they're going to take your kids away. Okay? They're going to take your kids away. And she was honestly, please. She was first of all, what children? Because all of her kids are 25. I'm 23 next week and Joshua is, 21 in April. He's so old. She was what children? And I was if I still call you mom, then Child Protective Services can still take me away. That's just how I see it. But so she was on me, because I haven't been cleaning my room. Well, I have been. I just had a 2-week, sabbatical. I was taking a mental health break from cleaning my room. So I just haven't been cleaning it lately. And she's always trying to take pictures of it and expose it and send it to our professional organizer because part of the contract, I guess, is she's checking in on us every 6, or not every, but for the next 6 months, which first of all, I didn't know that. I thought, she comes, we fix, and then she leaves. And then if things go back to the old ways, no one would ever know about that, but that's not true. She texts me every Friday. She's hey, it's laundry day. Where are you at with that? Don't forget the shower curtain. I'm how did you get this number? Literally, how did you get this number? Because now I can't just forget to do my laundry. I can't. You literally can't say you forgot to do your laundry when you have someone texting you every Friday to do it. And so, yeah, I guess in the long run, that's going to be good for us. But I'm what if I wanted to wait until Saturday? What would happen if I wanted to wait until Saturday to do my laundry? So she will be walking past my room and get her phone out to take a picture because I know she wants to send it to the organizer. So the other day I literally had to wrestle her for her phone to delete the evidence because I don't think that we should be attacking each other on this journey. I think women should support women, and that means not ratting me out to the organizer, and that's perfect. But actually, like, I've been thinking about my mom a lot, probably because I literally do nothing but sit in the house and look at her. Like, my dad goes to work, but me, my mom, and my aunt, we all work from home, so we don't do anything but, like, sit and look at each other all day, which, by the way, gets old, let me tell you. Love them to death, but sheesh, you know? But the older I get, I'm realizing that life is just so much easier if you just listen to your mom the first time. Like, literally, it's so pointless, and I know, like, we all went through this phase where we didn't want to listen to our mothers, and they were the bane of our existence, and, you know, they didn't know anything, and blah, blah, blah. At this point, I'm so sick of, like, the trial and error. Like, now I just want my mom to tell me what to do, because 9 times out of 10, I'm sure she's gonna be right. But now is the time where she, like, is no longer doing that. Like, I know I talked about a couple weeks ago, like, I want her to just figure out my life for me and tell me what to do. But now all of a sudden she doesn't want to do that. Like, when I'm finally ready to start listening to my mom, she's decided that she's done talking. Like, I don't understand what is fair about that, what is kind about that, but that's my life right now. So I know that, like, half the time this podcast just ends up being me, like, talking about my parents, but I can't help it because, like, I literally don't do anything but just look at them and talk to them and eat with them and watch TV with them. Like, they literally are my whole life right now. I'm like a dog. You know how, like, dogs, like, what's that saying? A dog is a part of your world, but you're your dog's entire world. I'm like my parents' dog because I'm here when they wake up, they go to work, and then they come home and I'm still here, and, like, they go to sleep, they wake up, I'm still here. Like, I don't leave, and I'm just, like, waiting for them to interact with me because I'm so bored. Anyway, I have been watching them, like, work, because especially now that I'm working with them on their podcast and just, like, with their foundation, I'm working a lot closer with them and observing, and I am so happy that they are who they are because I feel like they're setting such a good example of me. Like, my parents are very accomplished people, but, like, aside from that, they work hard every day and they're doing the things in life that make them happy. Like, their biggest accomplishment, it doesn't matter, like, how many degrees, like, how many businesses, whatever, like, they genuinely can say that they're doing the things that make them happy, and that is so inspiring to me because I feel like so many people are living miserable lives, and it just sucks. Like, you only get one life. It would suck if that life was miserable. It really would. And because we spend such a large portion of our lives working, like, it might as well be something that you love, and I feel like that's something that my parents have really instilled in me, like, growing up all my life, just making sure that you're doing what you love, and then you're halfway there to happiness, baby. So now I have to figure out what I love so I can do it, because if I'm being honest, I don't think I've applied for a job in, oh my gosh, it sounds so bad, but it probably has been a month since I even, like, looked at a job board, since I even, like, logged into LinkedIn. Like, it's been a long time, but I really am gonna get my butt in gear because my parents have this rule where they are gonna make me start paying rent. Like, they make their kids start paying rent after you've graduated college, 6 months post-grad. So my brother paid it, and, like, I'm gonna have to start paying it in December, and then I'm also gonna have to start paying, like, student loan stuff in December. So I really should get a job, but I have no motivation to work. Like, it just doesn't sound like something that I want to do. And I know that sounds so bad, but it's true. Like, I can't even think right now about, like, clocking in. Maybe I just haven't discovered what kind of job would truly bring me joy, because the thought, you guys, of clocking in somewhere and, like, spending all day there, like, at a desk or something, I don't know, it just doesn't sound like it's for me. So I guess that's step one. What is going to make me happy to get up and go to work? Because nothing LinkedIn is talking about is, like, motivating me to want to continue to look for it. And I don't think that's my fault. Technically, these jobs need employees more than I need a job. You know what I mean? Like, there are so many side hustles in the world. Not that I, am doing any of them, but there's so many other ways to make money. than having like a standard job. Actually, these employers should be like catering to me, to us. You guys, we need to stand together and make these employers be places that we want to work, because they need us more than we need them. I don't actually know that that's entirely true, because I just looked at my bank account the other day. I have this app now that tells me how much money I spend, and it tells me when my card goes off, like when someone uses it. I spent $600 this month, the month of August. When do you guys think it's gonna click that if you don't have a job, you can't really spend so much money on things? Like, I was going to Starbucks the other day. My mom literally called me broke, and it hurt, but was she wrong? Like, you can't really go to Starbucks every day if you don't have a job. That's not really the life that you get to live, and I don't think that's really clicking for me. I just bought like a new pair of shoes, and I just got a dress. Granted, okay, the dress was for my birthday, okay, but like, I'm spending a lot of money that just is not correct. I saw this TikTok, and like I said, TikTok, if you're listening, the offer to sponsor me is still on the table, because you guys are living rent free in my brain. I saw this TikTok, and it was basically saying, hey Lena.
Hello.
So my friend Lena just called me, actually my best friend. Lena, you're live on the air. Go ahead and say hello to my listeners.
Tell the people, and put the emphasis on the best.
Well, there she go. That's what she has to say to you guys. Lena, while I have you on the phone, would you like to be interviewed about having a job?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would actually love that.
So tell everybody your name, and tell everybody like what you're doing right now.
My name is Lena, and I'm currently a customer service representative for a company that should probably remain unnamed.
Yeah, we're gonna keep that company a cute little anonymous. So Lena, how long have you been working for this anonymous company?
I actually was just thinking about it the other day. I think it's been like 2 months already.
Oh my gosh,
which is crazy to think about.
That really is so crazy. I feel like it's gone by so fast.
I know.
Walk us through like a day in your life as an employed person. Like, are you waking up early? Are you like doing anything different? Because we pretty much talk all the time, so you know about a day in my life. What's it like to be employed?
So it like actually is my worst nightmare. I wake up in the mornings 5 days a week at like 6:45.
Ugh.
Yeah, and that's pushing it. Usually I'm sprinting at the door. And then I'll just go to work. I usually work at I have to be there at 8, so I'll work for 10 hours.
So waking up at 6:45, working 10 hours a day. Yeah, that doesn't sound like something I should be doing. And while we're on the topic of like working, I just want to talk about like pouring into yourself and investing into yourself as much, if not way more, that you invest into other people or other things. Like, this can be applied to like jobs, relationships, like whatever. It is so important to make sure that you are completely filled up and completely fulfilled, because at the end of the day, you can't give out to other people if you're not giving to yourself. This specifically for me has been a really interesting time to be unemployed and out of school. So I really like don't have anything that I'm doing until I started working some freelance and got a few clients. And by a few clients, I mean 3, and 2 of them are my parents. But freelance is freelance, beloved, okay? When that check clears, it still comes through, okay? So whether it's from my parents' bank account or not, a check is a check, beloved. Anyway, I would start my days like working with them with long to-do lists, and because my parents are actually kind of working me like a lot, and it's kind of like a little too much for me. But anyway, they're working me, and I have a long to-do list for them, and then at the bottom of my to-do list I have things that I want to do for my own personal brand. And I was finding that like at the end of the day I would work like really hard on their stuff. I would be watching Blake in the morning, so it like kind of cut a lot of my time to get stuff done. And at the end of the day I was super tired, and I was like, oh, I'm too tired to do like the stuff that's on my to-do list for my personal brand. And like that literally just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make sense. Like, you should never be in a position where you're giving other people more, like 100% of you, and you're not doing the same thing for yourself. Like with me and talking about a personal brand, like I'm never going to get to where I want to get to in life professionally if I'm not investing the same amount of time into myself and my career and my brand as I am for other people. It's just not going to happen. So like I've been having a really hard time with putting myself first and like putting my branding and everything, like prioritizing that. I think right now it just doesn't make a lot of sense because it doesn't make money. And I'm not saying I want to like rely on money, but I am saying it's like if someone's paying you to do a job, it makes sense that you're going to want to get that done in a timely manner, and it's a lot easier for you to just like push yourself off. Like if you are running out of time, if you have 5 hours worth of work to be done and only, you know, however many hours to do it, you're going to do the work that someone else is paying you to do first, because you don't want to like not provide the service for the money that they're paying, if that makes sense. And like I'm not paying myself, and it's easy to just say, oh, it's just you're just, you know, having fun, fooling around. But like at the end of the day, this is a brand, and if it is something I want to make a career out of, like I'm going to have to take it as serious as if someone were paying me. And so that's just something that I'm working on now, is like making sure I'm finding the time to prioritize myself. And I think maybe because I'm not as established as some of the clients that I have, I also think it's not really not that it's not worth it, but it's like no one will really notice if I don't put in as much work into my brand. But they'll notice if that brand who has more content and a bigger following is, you know, falling off, rather than they're not going to notice if I'm, you know, not posting extra this week. So I'm working on that. I'm working on prioritizing myself and just like making sure that I make time for myself, because that is going to bring me joy. Okay guys, well that is it. That's all I have to say. That's all that's on my mind this week. This has been another amazing, incredible, spectacular, wonder-filled, wanderlust, enchanting episode of Technically Adulthood with Jewell Simone. Thank you for listening, and I will let you guys listen to me talk again next week. You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.